What is up, guys? This is going to be an advanced guide on how to combat in Dinosaur Simulator on Roblox. I will be going over range, hitbox, glitching, the meta, updates, tactics, skins, things like attack rate, overpowered dinos or strong dinos that are used. So discussing range, usually in the previous updates they made the bigger the dino, the further the range it can attack. So usually you have sauropods that are majority of them are pretty strong. Things like Terra have very big models, therefore they have decent range. So I'm going to explain to you what is range. Range is the amount of distance a dinosaur can left click and land a hit on. So in this clip you see I have to get around 34 meters away to do any damage, to hit him with a left click. However, the Mega has it, he can hit me from further, around 50 meters, which means he's going to be at a much big advantage if he keeps his distance. So again, if you see in the clip, I'm trying to hit him, I can't land the hit, although the Mega, he can. This is why in majority of the fights, if you're good at keeping your range, the dinosaur with the larger range has basically a much higher chance of winning. When picking a dino, if it doesn't exceed in range, you want to make sure it can sacrifice some health in order to land the hit. So for example, as you can see, the Styra, it doesn't have that much health, so it's kind of punishing if it does get hit, because the lower you are, like the lower your health is from the original amount, the more speed you lose. If you notice there, when I was at lower health, my speed was lower as well. So in this scenario, I'm playing as the aggressive Gigantosaurus, which is basically a very strong dinosaur, very good range as well. You could see it competes with the Mega having a bit more health and damage overall. So the Mega will be an advantage in 1v1, say. So in this clip, I do a 1v1 with the Mega, with the Giga. The fight is relatively close, although he is going to be an advantage, dealing more damage, having more health. So as you can see there, he got me to yellow first, which was, expected. So I want to talk about the tactics that I use. You can see how when I do the attack and I miss or I hit, I turn my head to the side because the hitbox sticks out forward more. In the past update, they have made it so your dinosaur only hits people with the left click, only in front of what your dino's facing. So Clan, who I'm doing the 1v1 with, actually sent me a picture of what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Also guys, I want you guys to notice how I'm moving left and right. I'm trying to bait hits, make him try hit me when I know he can't get the hit. So it's kind of like playing off your opponent's mistakes. You can see how I do the left click and I instantly back off because I know that there's a delay between each hit and he can hit me if I keep going towards him. So he's just kind of reflecting of what I'm doing. You can see how he's moving and how I'm moving. He's turning his head to the side as well. So to show you how important the range is on dinosaurs, I'm going to be playing the Dinosaur, which is a croc. Usually crocs have pretty bad range, but I just want to show you how important range is here. It doesn't matter, I do 270 damage, I couldn't land a single hit, so it really didn't matter, right? So in this clip, I used the Shant for the 1v1. Now Shant's been known to have pretty good range, and it still does. It's got enough, its health being kind of dragged down, although it's still really good at ranging. Spino not so good, but I just want to show you how important range is here. So yeah, it's really important to know what dinos you can take on based on their range, their damage, stuff like that. Here I knew a Shant could kill a Spino because Spino has pretty trash range, so I just knew if I keep my distance, I can kill him. Now the meta nowadays is gonna be Mega, Puertosaurus. They're really strong for combat. Now I'm gonna show you in this little clip here. I land a hit here. It doesn't really mean much though, because if the Puerto lands a hit, you could see here he does around what 30-40% of my health. So there you go, 2 hits and I'm gone. I can't really do much. I barely tapped him, so yeah. So in this clip I want to show you Albino versus the Shant, and like kind of like a cheeky tactic you can do in actual fights. Now obviously we are friends and we're just fighting to yellow. Usually you don't want to heal in combat because that's kind of trash if you want to do it in practice, because right now we're essentially practicing, right? Like we're not trying to kill each other, we're trying to get each other to yellow. But what you can do in an actual fight, which is a really good tactic, is if you're a herbivore like me for example, you want to stay by trees or fern and just eat it as soon as you're out of combat, because once you're out of combat you can heal when you eat. If you're in combat and you try to eat, you won't heal. Same goes for carnivore. If you have like a friend or something, you drop an egg or you carry something in your mouth and you get far enough and you can heal, you know. It's a pretty good tactic. Now in this clip I show you the rake mother's glitching that you could do basically. Now it's not hard to do. You can do it pretty easily if you just have an egg in your mouth or something that you can pick up and you just hold it down. You can move sideways, hold down space, and you could just run that basically twice the speed. And this means that this is a pretty viable option if you want to kill like a mid-tier, kind of like a Shant, not like a sauropod, but this thing does perform quite well against things that have bad range, that are small and weak. So the only thing about this is when you're speed glitching, you're not going to be facing forward, which is why the left click on this isn't that good. You're going to be using AoE the majority of the time if you are going to be speed glitching at people, because you just, unless you're really skilled, you'll just use the AoE. Now you could see in this little clip here how fast I can move. Now all I do here is I look one way and I just keep tapping control. So I hold down S, so you have to go backwards in order for this to work. You just hold S right now and keep spamming control, and you can see how I'm like teleporting backwards. Now this Rex here I'm going to do a 1v1 with to show you. Now the only problem with speed glitching is you can get put in combat if you move too fast too soon, right? So you have to be responsible when you do speed glitch, or you could get put in a situation where you're at red health and you could get killed quite easily. So here I just show you how quick the rake mother can go in water while speed glitching. It's pretty OP. If you learn how to do it properly without getting put in combat, you can kill a lot of things. Alright, so here I start the 1v1 with Rake versus T-Rex. Now keep in mind what I said with the left click, you have to face your opponent in order to use it. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. You see I try to use it here, I try to look at him as well while I do it. It doesn't connect. Now the left click on this doesn't have the best range, so you're probably better off just going side on and using your AoE. You can see here how I'm just speed glitching away. I'm just tapping space while I want to move forward or backwards. Okay, you see I got him to yellow there. He didn't do too much. He couldn't land a single hit, and that's because as soon as I did my AoE, I just moved back, so I didn't give him a chance to be close enough to land his hit. Now another method you could use in combat is, it's kind of situational, is called tree swinging. Now it doesn't really it doesn't work, like it's not reliable unless you're playing the G barrel. If you're playing the G barrel, you can use your head. As long as you're next to trees, you can use it and basically swing around them. Now this is why when you're fighting G barrel, you want to stay away from trees, because they will just swing to you, and once a G barrel is on top of you, it's gonna be kind of hard to, you know, survive it. In this clip here I show you the Poeta versus 2 Gigas. It's a pretty tough fight for the Gigas because the Poeta has around 50 meters of range, which means they won't be able to range me. There is 2 of them, which means they can do a bit of damage if they just DPM me, but they're so close to me I'm able to AoE both of them, almost accidentally killing one of them. So I don't know what's a good idea, trying to go head on with the Poeta or trying to range it, because it's, either way it's pretty dang hard to do. So in this clip here I'm using the Rake Brachiosaurus versus a Baryonyx Sandia Megalania. You can see I'm using the glitch the speed glitch to get close enough to him to hit my AoE. Barry gets a bit close, he doesn't land the hit. You see I'm going sideways here trying to hit my AoE. Doesn't really work. It's kind of hard because they separate each other, which is good. Which also means one AoE can't hit both of them. You see one's out, I got one to yellow, and I got the other one to yellow. So Rake's pretty good against the weaker dinos, I guess. So in this clip I do the Brachiosaurus Rake versus the Albino Terra. Now I did say the Rake's better against, you know, the weaker dinos, although the Terra has a very nice amount of DPM, which means you can keep left clicking, and the reload basically on that left click is pretty low. You can see I'm speed glitching around trying to hit my AoE. It's pretty dang difficult though. You can see he hit me with his AoE. No, that was left click, I think. Can't do much here apart from hit him with my AoE. You see I try to land my left click. I don't think he lands. Left click's really tough to pull off. Fighting albinos, probably better to use something else apart from Rake. It's really good to have a friend with the Rake, because this means if it tries running or something, you could just catch up to it and finish it off. The Rake's really nice and it's really quick, which is a good thing. Now you can see I was pretty close again. I think I was one AoE away from getting him to yellow, so it's a pretty close fight. Now here I do a fight, Kaiju Quetz versus the Albino Terra. Now the flying dinos got really nerfed in my opinion. I'm pretty sure they did. I mean, I can't really hit. It's really tough to hit. It's really also important to have good Wi-Fi. If you have bad Wi-Fi, you making counter plays and like hitting your AoEs is going to be delayed and it's going to be inconsistent, right? So if you play bad with bad Wi-Fi, it's not really your fault. You can't do much about it. So I know I'm not hitting much here, but I do want to talk about how I played that with the Kaiju Quetz. You want to understand, when you hold Q, you go up. When you hold E, you go down, right? So you want to try bait hits, for example, from the Terra. You want to bait the AoE or something like that. So you can just, you know, hold E, make it look like you're going to go down for the hit, go back up, and then right after go back down. Kind of like mind gaming them. So here's going to be more of an even fight, the Fossil versus the Spino. Now obviously I have much less health than him, however the Fossil does much more bleed. Now you can see, I think he hit me 3 times and I'm to yellow. I hit him 3 times, but you can see he's bleeding still. Now the good thing with the Fossil, the things like Aloe, they do really good bleed, so if you can land a few hits, they'll bleed and they'll keep bleeding, right? So in this clip right here, you could see the Barry versus Mammoth's attack rate. You could see the difference of how fast the Barry can attack and how fast the Mammoth can. Now Mammoth's not been known to have the fastest attack, so it's kind of understandable. So in this clip I use the Terra Bunny Aloe. Now Aloe I don't really play often. I think I should because it's really strong. You're gonna see how good the bleed is here. Obviously over here we trade hits, and I'm trying to out DPM him because I know Mammoth's attack rate is really slow. He gets what, 3 bites in and I'm all the way down to yellow, although you're gonna see his health just go down. You're gonna see how much he bleeds. I bleed him to yellow and he's gonna keep bleeding. You're gonna see here. Now in this clip we're just gonna have some fun, do Terra versus AV, 2 hybrids. Now if you're trying to see, if you want to kill hybrids, I really recommend using the Puertosaurus, or if you have, Mega. It's a really good way to kill them. If you just guys want to have a really good wall dino, then I really do suggest the Puerta. It does take a bit to grow, around 2.1 growth rate I think, although it does pay off. I hope this guide helped you guys. I hope you learned from it. I hope you learned something new as well. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.